And thank you very much for opening up this video. I really do appreciate it. Now, my guess is there's a realistic chance that you've been made aware of the protests in Liverpool in response to the grooming of a attempted grooming of a young 15-year-old girl by a 25-year-old migrant. I've seen the video, and my guess is you've been made aware of it. The mainstream media and YouTube is full of it. Right, okay, let me just answer a couple of questions, and let me tell you why I'm qualified to talk about this. I actually grew up in the Liverpool area. I'm what you call a semi-scouser, or what the scousers call a plastic scouser. On top of that, I'm the son of two legal immigrants from India, who both worked in the NHS for about 30 years each. So I'm very, very qualified to talk about this. I'm what's known as a second generation Indian, in the sense I was born and raised in the UK. Now, today I'm going to talk about why these are not far right protests. I've got a warning for the Conservative Party. I've got a message for the migrants. I've got a message for, what do you call it, those protesting. And I'll give you my views on immigration and, most importantly, what you can do about this. So please stay to the end. If you follow my videos, you'll see that every day I give you something for free to help you with your health, wealth, finances, fitness, and fat loss. And I give common sense solutions to political problems facing society. So let's go through this situation. Firstly, these are not right-wing protests, okay? I come from the Liverpool area. You could actually pin a red rose to a doorpost in Knowsley or Liverpool, and people will vote for it. It's the safest Labour area around. And I mean that really sincerely. There's no way these people can be called right-wing fascists. And bear in mind that fascism um, is where you have one person in charge of the entire state. It's not democratic at all. It must also be remembered that the greatest genocidal killers of the 20th century were also on the left wing. Erich Honecker of East Germany, Adolf Hitler, leader of the German Democratic National Socialist Party, Joseph Stalin, leader of the Communist Party of Russia. There was also Pol Pot, the General Secretary of the Communist Party, sorry, of Cambodia, Chairman Mao of China. You know, the list goes on and on. So anyway, they are not right-wing fascists. As I said, it's the safest Labour seat you can imagine. Now, there's a message now going to the Conservative Party. Unless you sort this out, that 80-seat majority you've got at the which you got in the 2019 general election will be wiped out. People are getting very, very annoyed that they're struggling with the cost of living crisis. Everything's going up. Gas is going up. Electricity's going up. Food's going up. Everything's going up. And yet these migrants who arrive without papers, without passports, are getting put up in five-star hotels and getting the best of everything. This is not the Brexit we voted for. We voted Brexit to take complete control of our borders so we can turn people away if we want them to. If we want to. That is not the Brexit we voted for. And unless the powers that be do something about it, they're looking at total annihilation at the next general election. I can see Reform UK taking over completely because this is not the Brexit we voted for. One of the reasons we voted for Brexit was to take control of our borders. Now, I've got a message now for the migrants. Please do not abuse the hospitality of the English people, or should I say the British people. The people of Britain have been very welcoming towards refugees. You only have to look what we have done for the people of Britain have opened their hearts and their homes to the people of the Ukraine. Now, before I mention anything about refugees, these are not genuine refugees. They're economic migrants, okay? Most of them are healthy, fit young men. If you are a genuine refugee, you bring your wives and your wife and your children with you. There aren't any there. These are healthy, fit young men looking to take advantage of our generous benefit system. And I can say that with absolute sincerity because the last time I was in India for an arranged for marriage of a member of my family, I was bombarded with offers of people from people just saying, "Marry my daughter," and what happened? And you know what their plan was? Basically, get citizenship and then basically cream off benefits and send money home. And after they got divorced, okay, what they do, they claim asylum under the 1951 Geneva Convention. It's an open racket. It goes on very, very openly. So I know exactly what they're planning to do. But anyway, message to these migrants. Your religious scriptures make it very clear that every woman is your sister, and any attempt to disrespect your sister is considered by God to be greater than insult to God Himself. The same scriptures mention 5 things that you must follow the law of the country you live in. You must be a fine, upstanding model citizen respected by all. You must make a positive contribution to your community, giving back at least twice what you receive. You must follow the teachings of God, which are word for word exactly the same as the Ten Commandments for the Christians. And lastly, you must encourage everyone else to follow the teachings of God. So these migrants, please do not abuse the hospitality of the people of Britain. You're lucky to be here. And if the people of Britain legitimately have their way, you'll be shipped out. I can't understand why the government have done that. Now, a message now for the protesters. Go home. Okay, please don't put the people who work in those hotels in danger. Please don't harm the police or our security services. Go home. There are better things that you can do. A couple of things I'd like you to do. First of all, go home, get on your PC and send a message to the Home Secretary. Just 2 lines. You can find the address of the Home Secretary from a quick Google search. Just say, I object to the number of illegal migrants coming to our borders. I want you to retreat or withdraw from the 1951 Geneva Convention on Refugees. And lastly, I vote. Just 3 lines. Okay, if Suella Braverman gets bombarded with, let's say, a few thousand emails or letters or whatever, she'll take notice very quickly. I've also put the link to some parliamentary petitions below. Nobody has ever been arrested for filling in a parliamentary petition. No police officer has ever been hurt by doing this. Okay, you won't disrupt the traffic and you won't cause any harm to anyone. Once you get 10,000 signatures, the government has to respond. Get 100,000, they consider a debate in Parliament. We get a couple of million, they can't ignore it. Okay, it's basically that simple. So please go home. Spend time with your families. Now, lastly, second to last, my view on immigration. I am the son of 2 legal immigrants from India. Okay, I'm a second generation immigrant. In case you don't know, let me tell you my stance on immigration. Genuine political prisoner, no problem. Genuine asylum seeker, no problem. These men coming across are not genuine refugees. With regard to genuine refugees, I find it reprehensible beyond all belief that we didn't give asylum to Asaya Bibi or Rahaf Muhammad. Asaya Bibi was a Pakistani Christian who was free from her conviction of 10-year sentence on blasphemy charges. I cannot believe that we as a Christian country didn't allow this Pakistani Christian to come here. I can't believe that. Secondly, Rahaf Muhammad. This girl fled from a forced arranged marriage. She ended up in the Far East. Luckily, like Asaya Bibi, she was rescued by Canadians who've given her asylum. I can't understand for the life of me why we didn't give her asylum. We should have done. I give credit to the Danish government for giving asylum to Nadia Nadim. Nadia Nadim, if you've watched the World Cup, she was a 12-year-old, well, at the age of 12, she witnessed the Taliban murder her father. She made it over to Denmark somehow. I don't know how she did it, but she now speaks 12 languages. She was a professional footballer, and now is actually training. She's now a trained doctor and is going to be a surgeon. I defy you to find one person who objects to immigrants or refugees like this. Now let's talk about non-asylum seekers. All non-asylum seekers, I don't care about their race, religion, ethnicity, colour or creed, as long as they fulfill 5 criteria. Firstly, they must come legally. Secondly, they must have a reasonable command of the English language. Thirdly, they must respect British law. Fourthly, they must respect British culture. But most of all, they must be able to positively contribute to our society. And I'm going to give you a very, very, very biased example. My dad. He came to the UK in 1969, the world's most devout Hindu, and he was very proud of it. What actually happened was he was a doctor, and at first he was trying to be a heart doctor, a cardiologist, but that didn't work out because his consultant, who was quite racially prejudiced, wouldn't sign him up. So what then happened was he ended up going to becoming a GP. Now, when he became a GP in Ormskirk, a lot of local consultants wouldn't take his referrals. Some other GPs wouldn't actually do out-of-hours cover with him. He actually started up the prescription picking up system that you may see now. That's where you order your prescription from the GP and it's sent to your local pharmacy. It was him who started that up in 1977. So what actually happened was, as he didn't have none of this appointment malarkey, If you wanted to see him, you turned up, you got seen. It was basically that simple. Um, Anyone with a long-term condition was seen every 3 months to keep your signs and symptoms under control. Hospital referrals were very, very low, as were hospital admissions. Any emergent, he exceeded all government targets. On the government targets, for example, emergency patients had to be seen within 2 to 3 days. My dad saw them the same day. He kept 3 slots aside when they imposed appointments. He put 3 appointments aside for emergency patients. That's how good he was. As time went on, the tables turned because what actually happened was the health authority asked him to make protocols for the other GP surgeries in the area. Tables turned, and then GP fund holding came in, and then the tables really turned. I defy you to find anybody who objects to such immigrants like just my dad. Okay, it's basically that simple. In conclusion, a final message for the government on behalf of every hard-working, law-abiding, tax-paying ethnic minority who lives in the UK, I openly say we do not want these people here. Okay, they shouldn't be even arriving at our borders. It's basically that simple. Had you done your job properly at Brexit, we would have taken back complete control of our borders and turned them away. They shouldn't even be coming here. Britain is a soft touch. So what I'd like you to do, go below and look at the parliamentary petitions I've set up. Please do sign them, share them, and consider sending a letter of protest to the Home Secretary. You can find her details uh, on Google and send a little letter of protest. But please don't do any street protests or any violent behaviour. It's not good for anyone. Thank you very much for your time. I'll speak to you soon, but I welcome your comments below. Bye bye.